sudden, I shit you not, this son of a bitch dropped something out of it. Straight down, the color of it just drops out of the star. Now, this kind of freaks me out because I'm like, okay, I didn't see a shooting star as far as it's shooting across the sky. I didn't, the star itself didn't fall. It's still there. What the hell just fell out of it? Okay? So I automatically say, oh shit, did y'all see that? And my kid automatically is like, oh, let's go back to the room. Because I think it scared him. And I didn't realize that I was talking, because I talked to Ashley and just openly about this stuff. But I didn't think I'm in the middle of the night on the top of this boat looking at these stars so close and stuff is falling. And my kid is like, whoa, he's 12. He don't want no part of this, So I kind of felt bad and I had to scale it back and be like, oh God, I just saw, I didn't see what I thought I saw. It's okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you people, I saw that shit. And then when I got to looking, the road that we traveled from Merida to Chichen Itza is actually, they have records of UFOs over there all the time. Truck drivers see it when they're taking their trucks up and down at nighttime. They've actually started seeing what they call the cigar shaped, which looks like there's like windows on each side of it. They believe those are like more motherships, and people actually don't see those as often unless they have a telescope. And there's ranch owners out there that are actually seeing this out there in this country. There have actually been pictures of UFOs beside the Chichen Itza. So that brings us back to the point of, do we believe in UFOs, and what the hell happened to the Mayans? What do you think happened, Ashley?
Well, according to our tour guide, they kind of just fizzled out. That it got kind of swampy there, and they moved away because of the water.
It's not swampy.
Well, whatever.
He said there was no water.
Water, no water. They moved away and they mingled without. Some things that they wanted to be godlike. And one god, the tour guide mentioned.
Let me this is really cool. Y'all, this is really cool stuff that Ashley's getting ready to lay on you. There's different theories. I'm going to tell you the theories. One is that they were so advanced, people. I'm not talking about a little bit advanced. I'm talking about big shit advanced. Like, for example, the big pyramid at Chichen Itza, El Castillo, is actually the blocks around it and up to the top, the pillars, the levels, measure out 365, as in the years. It is built so that it will catch the light, so it will make the snake. It is built so that they could see, the observatory can see Venus, because they believed that could predict certain things, and it was a god to them. They believed all this stuff and was able to give these features that we couldn't even give yet, guys. Really, we shouldn't have been able to do. And put that shit all together by damn gum trees. I'm not joking you. This shit, and it just kept building up. What they did find, that there was a underground river underneath that pyramid. So the water theory might not be. Okay, some theories is they ran out of water. That's what our guide said. He said that the Mayans are still there. They're still in the culture. 2, aliens came back and picked them up. And 3, maybe they just didn't have, I don't know. Maybe they were conquered by somebody else. Who knows?
There's like some other things about the pyramid. Certain days of the year you could see the windows, like the windows will line up. And also there's like arguments of whether they even had wheels to use back then. Yeah. How they got the bricks there, because they don't think they had wheels.
Yeah.
Like wooden wheels or anything. Another thing is, it was really cool that while we were there, doesn't have anything to do with gods or anything, but when you stand a certain place away from it, and like your whole tour group or just yourself claps, the echo from where you're standing actually echoes out of the temple to make a sound of a bird.
The bird that they worshipped. So the thing is our tour guide is this the sound of your echo? Or is it the sound of this bird? And if it is the sound of this bird that they believed was a god, all of it, you see them little Mayan people with the feathers sticking up and shit, that's this bird that they would use. So how the hell were they so smart as to make the echo come out like this bird that they believe? And we heard that shit. We ain't joking. It sounds like a damn bird up in there calling back to you, but it's your echo, supposedly.
You should really look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's somewhere out there that has that. It's really cool. It echoes back. They have different ones they worship. Like they worship the jaguar and different animals around, like all of the other ones.
Hold on, I got something for you.
No, we're gonna.
I got something for you. Actually, hold on. Ready? You talk about the jaguar. Hold on. That's right. We brought our own jaguar back with us. Actually, nah, that's just a little thing they sell there. But they get your ass. We thought there was jaguars in the bushes.
It's annoying as shit because you don't understand. When you have the temple, and around the temple in the shade, there's acres and rows and rows and rows of Mexicans trying to sell you their stuff for outrageous prices. And then if you keep walking away, they'll keep going down on their prices, yelling at you. So they would make these calls in the woods to get your attention to come over there to try to figure out what it was.
Listen, I didn't go over there. I don't want no jaguar in my bushes. Okay, so I just ignored it. But actually, it's like, what's the sound over there? I'm thinking, there's jaguars. They get you.
Jaguars.
You trying to be that shaman.
Yeah.
That shaman Ashley. That's what you're trying to be. Hell with that. I'm a chicken Misty.
But do you know, one little fact is we could not climb on the temple or any of the things like that because in 2006 someone fell down the stairs and died.
Really? Well, they told us you couldn't go in and only priests were allowed in there. I'm talking about like they locked that shit down. Only certain people get to go
like
inside.
Tourist type things. Tourists, that's why tourists can't go in there. And another thing is they were talking about the tour guide was talking about how the normal people would come in and build it, but once they were done building, they had to get the hell out, and only like high ups could actually be around the temple.
Yeah, we're talking about priests people. We ain't talking about like, you know, just this and that and the other. Inside there's only been people, and they say there's like, because people are like, is it empty in there? And they're like, no, that it's temples on top of temples and stuff. Which we're going to talk about as esophagus. That was the reason why they also believe the alien theory. But go on, Ash.
One thing that's really cool that you should look up is the Mayan gods. Those are really, like, they're crazy as crap. For one thing, there's this one that I just want to touch on because we visited the places they actually committed the suicide.
Oh, shit.
It's the IXTAB, Xtab, whatever. It's a suicide goddess. She was always represented with a long rope around her neck. The Mayans believed that suicides would lead you to heaven. Hence, it was very common for suicides to happen because of the depression or even for something trivial. We actually went to the suicide, what was it called?
It's a sinkhole. That's what it is. But it's greener than freaking pea soup, man. I mean, it's really nasty. But they would do suicides there or sacrifices. They found down in the bottom of that thing, they've kind of like dug out and they found gold and they found personal items and then skeletons of children and men. Yeah.
So with them like being so much into the gods and everything and worship of them like usual ancestors, they would actually alter their body in many different ways.
Oh yeah.
One of them they would take their baby and actually hold it with. It would take a newborn infant's head between two boards for several days. The infant was tied on the board, and then another board was attached at an angle, and then gradually increased the pressure on the baby's head, creating a deeply sloped forehead. It was common for the child to die from this process, but as the sloped head was considered extremely attractive, the parents ignored the risk and continued the deformation.
See, you got to think, guys, they wanted them to look like the gods. So they made them, I know this sounds stupid, but I want you to think of it as like if it was a UFO, if it was an alien, they wanted them to have that cone head. That's another reason why people are like, oh, shoot, man, this could have been some sort of alien. You know, they don't understand how they were that smart. They don't understand why certain things they wanted to mimic of the gods, and then that made them look alien-like.
Other things that they actually did was, okay, you know how you carry a baby on your hip and you put your legs around either side of you?
The babies. Yeah.
The kids or babies or whatever. If you did it for a long period of time, they would have bow legs. That was another situation they did. Also, they would take a piece of string and tie it between their eyes to make them cross-eyed. They also pierced their nose and their ears, and the higher up you got, the more crazier you got. Another one was actually they pierced their pecker.
Well, we do that now.
Yeah, we got then also the teeth, the gems in the teeth.
Oh, yeah.
They filed their teeth and put gems in them. They don't know if they used like a painkiller or anything, if they just did it straight.
I don't think it would hurt. You just drill a little hole right. They would put like embers and stuff like that, like the
jade was a very
there you go.
One. Another thing was they would bloodlet a lot, and one of them was they take barbed wire through their tongues.
Oh, equivalent of barbed wire? They didn't have barbed wire back then, didn't they?
I guess that would be kind of equivalent. earrings, roped with thorns pulled through the tongue.
Yeah.
The royalty piercing was his penis.
Lord have mercy, honey.
A nose attachment from the esophagus to the Hanapaco.
Oh, they made his nose bridge? Is that what it was? I'm not for sure.
I guess
that's crazy.
It's a lot of the, what they actually did to try to look
like
more godless.
That's
ugly
crazy.
as hell, what the hell we would say nowadays.
The thing that really gets you, though, me, is they tried to change the form of their head. So what does their gods look like?
And tattoos they were and scars.
Yeah, tattoos and scars. They were also short. You got to think of this. They were short. They didn't have hair. That leads me into my next point. There is a temple, not a temple, but there is a... Let's talk about the ball first, Ashley. Playing the ball. They love this stuff. They would build these long stadium kind of things, but they didn't have...
Kind of reminds me of Harry Potter, where they have those little hoops on the side of the walls. Yeah. It's an itty-bitty little hoop.
The thing is, they couldn't use their hands and feet. They had to take the ball and get it through there. And I'm talking about they got to climb up like the size of a damn house to get it inside there. Some believe that there was only one-on-one person. Some believe that there was teams. But if you go to the side, you will see it depicted, and it was one man against one man, and the one guy's without a head and the other one holds the head. There's also then a slab that has all these skulls on it, like they're carvings of the
If you
skulls.
lost, you died.
Yeah, but actually, it was you win, you died.
Oh.
Because they believe that you actually, that was a sacrifice to the gods. That was a sacrifice to the gods. So then they took your head, put it on a stick for so long, on top of this, altar. It's big, and it's got all these skulls carved on the side, and then they would put your skull underneath this thing. So our tour guide was like, there is hundreds and hundreds of these underneath there. Well, there's this one place that they said that the people who were more authority set. And it has the columns and stuff like that, like a White House, okay? And they said more of the regal people. Well, what this temple is called is the Bearded Mayan Temple. Now, let me lay some knowledge on you people. People believe that the bearded man was Jesus. That is crazy. I know we're all like, oh my gosh, but it is also thought that they had a god of corn, mace, but they believe that this guy,
they believe we were all made out of corn, and everything we were made out of corn.
Because you got to think how much they love this stuff, guys. But this
tortillas.
Yeah, tortillas. Anyway, so this guy, according to Mayan legend, the Mayan was visited by a robed Caucasian man with blonde hair, blue eyes, and a beard. And they named him Kukulkan. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but that's also what that pyramid's called, guys, in Chichen Itza, who taught the Mayan about agriculture, medicine, mathematics, and astronomy. It was widely recognized that the Mayan were the first civilization to use the number 0. The Kukulkan warned the Mayan of another bearded man who would not only conquer the indigenous people of Central America, but would also enforce a new religion upon them before he was to return. And if anybody knows anything about their history, this is the Spanish conquistadors. The thing is people always talk about this bearded man. You hear it, but they also called him something else. But
Jesus, what you doing over, Jesus?
Yes, but it is noted in hundreds of North and South American Indians and South Pacific legends tell of a white-skinned, bearded lord who traveled among the many tribes to bring peace about 2,000 years ago. This spiritual hero was also best known as, hold on to your britches, people, Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Yes, it does. Anyway, it's Jesus, people. He's spreading a good word. And that's kind of cool that he was down there. They actually believe that after he passed, in lining it up with the Bible, he appeared to them down there. Which is crazy good, actually, that they depict him as something else, a serpent with feathers. But you got to think that is like the best you can actually get, because they love their serpents and the certain type of birds and stuff like that. They still dress like that down there. Like some of the Mayan, they dress up like that.
Yeah, them things, they pop up like a damn peacock. They got their shit on point.
They do.
We were talking about how we want one to prance around the house to have authority. Be like, oh, you got a problem? Pow! You pop that thing up.
But it's really cool. It was really neat. Some more UFO stuff, guys. Let's talk about this. Some people believe